Hey YouTube, Joyboy here. So today I want to talk about Big Mom's true form, or the truth of Big Mom's giant size. And so guys, this is not my theory, rather this is a theory from a theorist on OUT Jackson named JINZ, and he's actually a relatively new theorist who has a ton of potential. Like, I've just read through a couple of his theories and I'm already extremely impressed, so I suggest you go create an account on OUT Jackson or find JINZ's profile, check out all of his theories. I know of at least one other about Katakuri that might interest you. Links as always will be in the description. And so guys, why am I talking about this theory? Well, I was actually initially going to talk about another theory from JINZ, but then I ran across this theory and I just had to talk about it because this idea needs to get bigger. It's actually contradictory to some of my ideas, but to be honest with you, it's very, very healthy to explore other people's opinions and see how it changes your own perspective to perhaps give you a different perspective, open up various lanes of possibility that you could never have seen before. And after reading this theory, it's great. But enough hype, let's get right into it. And there is one major important connection that you must make in order for this theory to make sense. You need to connect Gecko Moria with Big Mom. Now guys, this is something that I've done at length in several videos, but I believe, and I think you should believe, that Gecko Moria and Big Mom are extremely similar in many ways. But for the purposes of this theory, there's only one way that is vitally important, and that is both of their powers are extremely similar. So similar that it's possible that they could be used in many of the same ways. So what exactly am I talking about? Well, Moria had the Shadow Fruit, which in many ways resembles what you might expect to have gained from a soul. Like, the shadow seemed to be some kind of reflection of the body and the soul combined. So when you take someone's shadow and give that shadow to an inanimate object such as a corpse, that corpse then has the personality and many attributes of that said individual. So you could almost say that the shadow is a kind of soul. And Big Mom obviously has the soul fruit, which is the actual soul. So if these two devil fruits are similar, then we could perhaps look at some of the techniques, moves, ways in which Moria used his devil fruit and perhaps give those to Big Mom. And so let's get right to the point. What if Big Mom has the ability, just like Moria has the ability to absorb shadows, Big Mom has the ability to absorb souls. And the absorption of said souls makes Big Mom stronger and larger. But let's make this 10 times more interesting. Not only is it possible that she has this ability, but what if she has always been using this ability since the first time that we met her? It's alright guys if you need a moment to recover from that mindfuck. But in order to justify this, for those who are super nerdy One Piece fans, we'll probably point out a line which may in some way disprove the notion that Big Mom herself is able to consume these souls, which is that Pound said back in chapter 834, I believe, or 35, basically said that others, like people, cannot consume these souls. It's only reserved for things that do not currently possess a human soul, such as animals, plants, and objects. I'm gonna stop being lazy for a moment and actually read the actual quote. She's able to freely interact with people's souls. This is what Pound's saying. With that power, she takes some time out of the citizens' lifespans and sprinkles those human souls all throughout the island. Once this is done, these souls settle into random objects or things, and they end up getting humanized, quote unquote. Just to be clear, these souls cannot enter a corpse or the body of someone else. So in this case, the souls that Big Mom gets from her citizens, they cannot go into the bodies of a corpse or someone else. And the real question is someone else also refer to Big Mom herself? And so this is where it gets kind of tricky. What's interesting about the shadow ability and being able to absorb it is this was not unique to Moria. Luffy and other people could also attempt to, in a way, absorb the shadows. What really made Moria special is that obviously he had the willpower to contain a lot of them, similar to Luffy, given just, his natural prowess as a fighter. But in the case of the Soul Devil Fruit and its ability to extract souls, we are led to believe that essentially no one can absorb these souls, or if anyone could, then it would just be Big Mom, which is already different. So how am I going to persuade you that you can overlook this bit of evidence? And I'm going to do it in traditional Joy Boy fashion. Fam, it may be a lie. You know what I found really interesting about Moria is that it didn't seem as though his crew was really aware that they themselves could absorb these shadows, right? And so with that being said, it just may never have occurred to them to try. Lola herself said that we, as in her and her pirates, discovered this secret. So all I'm saying is that just because Pound believes that other people cannot absorb these souls that Big Mom extracts, it would definitely be in Big Mom's best interest to lead the people of the island, or her people, to think that's true even when it may not be. Hell, maybe this is a secret reserved for members of Big Mom's own family. People such as Lola. Maybe Lola's experience understanding Big Mom's own devil fruit helped her to uncover the secret of Gecko Moria's devil fruit. But at this point you can choose to look past it or not, but I'm going to continue forward. With this established, then that would essentially mean that Big Mom, the Big Mom that we've seen the entire time, is actually Big Mom with a huge amount of souls absorbed into her. Basically, Invincible Big Mom. The kind of Big Mom who could not get damaged in the slightest. The difference between her and Moria is that Moria absorbed more shadows than he could take on. Big Mom, the Yonko, is a step ahead of him. She's absorbed souls to the point that she has mastered it, that she can sleep while still having these souls within her body. And as Jin said, this would perfectly match up with Sanji's and Capone's description of Big Mom as an iron balloon. But let's not stop here, let's keep going. I wonder how much toll it takes on Big Mom to constantly be running around with these souls stuffed in your body. We could see from these shadows that these shadows do not want to stay within that body, and it takes an enormous amount of energy and willpower to keep them there. So to permanently house souls in your body must be in some way taxing. How do you think Big Mom may compensate for this to allow her to keep going? Well, perhaps she needs to refill her energy constantly. Perhaps that is why Big Mom always eats. Her insatiable hunger driven by her ultimate defense. So then Jins goes on to speculate why exactly Big Mom would want to be in this state all the time. And on one hand he argues that Big Mom desires to be a giant. And I'm not certain if that's true or not. I've had my own speculations on the topic, but none of them included the fact that Big Mom wants to be a giant, more that she wants everyone to be the same size. So it's really hard to tell. My personal belief is that in order for Big Mom to guarantee her safety at all points in time, she needs to be using her strongest technique at all points in time. Basically, absorbing souls, making yourself indestructible, overpowered, even while sleeping, is vital to Big Mom's survival. But the irony of all this is this could have very well caused her eating disorder, having to basically consume food at such a rate that it literally caused a mental disorder, which is now slowly, it seems as though, killing the Big Mom pirates. But let's move on, guys, we're not done here. Next I want to talk about why when the portrait of Madame Caramel is in some way disturbed or whatnot, why it causes Big Mom to basically go insane. And so there seems to be two groups of people. On one side you have the people that believe that the portrait of Madame Caramel, when it's disturbed, literally takes away Big Mom's defenses. And on the other hand, there's a group of people that believe that just the disturbing the portrait doesn't actually affect Big Mom in any way, but rather actually emotionally disturbs her, like it upsets her. And so for this particular theory, I think you would have to lean towards the latter rather than the former. Essentially, this is the scenario in which it would make sense. The portrait of Madame Caramel means so much to Big Mom that if anyone touches it, if anyone knocks it over, disturbs it in any way, she just freaks. She freaks and the control that she has over the souls that are constantly within her body weakens. And so these souls start to escape. And as they escape, you hear an odd, alien-like voice emanating from Big Mom. The voice of the souls. And as her control over them lessens, her indestructible body, which was a power gained through storage of these souls within her, begins to weaken so that Big Mom is now vulnerable. And the last thing that I want to say before ending this video is if you are looking for potential massive foreshadowing that everyone was, missing but was right out in the open, the very first time we ever quote-unquote saw Big Mom, she was not the Big Mom that we see today, but rather a young, pretty, or a idealized version of a mom from Sanji's imagination. I wonder if that's closer to the truth than what we've actually been seeing. But yeah, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thanks again to JINZ for creating it, and I just wanted to spread the word. But let me know what you think about this theory. Oh, and again, make sure to check out Or Jackson, check out JINZ, go follow him, do whatever you can to support him in any way because he deserves it. But anyway, tell me what you think about this theory. Tell me if you agree with anything that I said or disagreed with anything that I said and why. Share your thoughts. Like the video if you liked the video, dislike the video if you disliked the video, subscribe if you want to be notified for my future content, and as always guys, have a wonderful day.